What's going on, everyone? We got another Best Ball Mania draft today. I think I only have 5 left. Only 5 left, maybe 4 left. I don't even know off the top of my head. But I'm in a draft right now, so let's do this. Pick number 8 today. Haven't had a lot of streams with the 8 spot, so I'm kind of excited about this. We got the big news today. Samaje Perine did not sign with Cincinnati. As a lot of you guys know, I've been drafting a lot of Chase Brown, decent amount of Zach Moss. Good for those players for sure. Good for my bags, if you will. I do think it does impact Isaiah Pacheco's projection a little bit. Perine can play on third downs. He's reliable there. Reliable in pass pro. That could hurt Isaiah Pacheco a little bit. What's up, John? Jack, what's going on, buddy? All right, we will. Well, Justin Jefferson's here. We're going to go Justin Jefferson. Nice little 108 fall there. He's fallen at times, though. Dalvin Cook, late round dart throw now. I'm not really buying it. He was pretty trash last time I saw him. I mean, better, again, whenever I say that in context. He's better than me at my job. He's better than most of us at our jobs. But in the context of being fantasy relevant, not really worthwhile in my opinion. I think Perine actually has some late round dart throw appeal. Like I'd go Perine over Dalvin Cook. I'm going to see what number this is for BBM because I for some reason can't remember. This is BBM 147. I'm going to try to finish it up on Friday and do a live stream. You guys want to do 2 p.m. Friday? Have the number 150 BBM. Does Dylan out for the year change anything for Lloyd? Yeah. I think the thing that changed for Lloyd, though, a little bit more is the fact that he wasn't put, I didn't see, but he wasn't put on IR yet, I don't believe. When he was reported that he was going to be on IR. I don't think he's going to play in the short term. But yeah. What's going on, Mr. Scampers? All right, I'm on the clock. Probably think, Debo's interesting. It's either Waddle or Debo for me. Let's just go Debo. Just play the ADP game a little bit. I have a lot of Jalen Waddle. Samaje Perine, 17th round flyer. Yeah, I mean, I think that's like it's a valid pick. In a 10-team superflex, would you take Jefferson over Kyler or Richardson at the turn? I don't think I have that in my rankings. I have superflex rankings though, on the Patreon. Right now, I have both of those guys over Justin Jefferson. Go to this screen. Sorry. Always forget. Been doing these all summer and I still forget to go to this screen. I'm sure you were asked about this before, but how transferable is best ball strategy to redraft? I think it's really transferable. I mean, strategy-wise, I think that underdog drafters get it right that we should be going wide receiver heavy even in redraft leagues. Not this wide receiver heavy. And there's reasons to go this wide receiver heavy in best ball, but going more wide receiver heavy than what the traditional redraft market has done is generally smart, depending on your scoring settings and stuff. So that's one thing. But then also, you can still look at within the position and where guys are being drafted and ranked on underdog, which I think is sharper than even looking at what's going on like Fantasy Pros expert consensus rankings. Like, if you want to look at, I mean, I think that you should look at mine, of course, but if you want to look at positional rankings, for your draft, I would rather go to my draft with underdog positional ADP as opposed to looking at positional ADP via, or positional rankings via expert consensus rankings on Fantasy Pros. Genuinely, I find more value by going that direction and looking at expert consensus rankings than I do looking at underdog ADP. Keaton Mitchell's my favorite last round selection. I'm not scared of his injury hampering his efficiency. I mean, the problem though is Derrick Henry's still there. I get it to a degree, but I'm surprised Pacheco still went there. It's going to be interesting to see where Kyron is at. Am I going to have to take Kyron? I don't have much Kyron, man. I haven't drafted that much Kyron Williams. It's going to be hard for me to. Okay, Ayuk goes, of course. I mean, I think we just go Kyron, and I get some exposure to him because he's not falling this late as frequently of late. So I think we go Kyron and buy the dip, as Artie's saying, buy the dip. I don't have much Kyron Williams in BBM. I talked about that on the last episode of Becoming a Best Ball Bro today. I have like 19% Blake Corum, and I have maybe 3 or 4% Kyron. So this will help that a little bit. And I like that I'm getting a little bit of a discount on it. But yeah, buy the dip. I mean, like, I do think that, my general stance on here we go. Wait, Steven just said, I'm so used to listening to the pod at 1.5 speed that you sound like you're drunk and slurring your words in real time. That's funny. I think that people are shocking. People are overblowing the Kyron Williams stuff. I'll get to your question in a second, Beefcake. People are over doing the Kyron Williams stuff. They're either saying that it doesn't matter at all, or they're saying that Blake Corum is the RB1. And 99% of the time, the answer is in the middle when it comes to how people react to news items in fantasy football. And in my opinion, I don't think the punt return stuff is really that noteworthy when it's only going to happen. He's only going to like get tackled maybe twice a game based on those punt returns. Like, it's just not that big of a deal. But the thing that did matter to me a little bit was Emo Cowboy. I'll shout him out because I didn't tag him in a post earlier today on Twitter. Asked Jordan Rodriguez from The Athletic, who covers the Rams, who is one of the best beat writers that you'll find that covers a team. And he asked Jordan basically, hang on, I'll pull it up after I make this pick. It's a little teaser for you guys. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this next pick. No clue. Maybe go Rams Cardinals and get Trey McBride. I guess we go Diggs. Just get the ADP. Yeah, Emo Cowboy. Okay, so here's what the tweet was and what the screenshot I sent was, because I think it's not nothing. Okay. So he responded to Jordan Rodriguez talking about Sean McVay, talking about the punt return stuff, right? He says, I'm trying to read between the lines here, and it sounds like, and this is from @emo_cowboy. Trying to read between the lines here, and it sounds like more of a split and Kyron filling in punt return while Corum takes more away than just a drive every now and then. And then Jordan's responded and said, that's my gut instinct. Okay. Which means, yes. And Tim, by the way, you're exactly right. If anyone hasn't listened to Jordan's podcast with the Shanahan tree and the coaches in the tree, it's amazing. So interesting. But what Jordan responding, why that holds weight for me is because last year she noted that Kyron Williams was seeing more and more run with the ones towards the end of camp. and he was going to play a bigger role than what people generally realized and thought and believed. And for proof of that, you can go to my draft guide last year. I didn't call Kyron Williams out as a target, but I called Cam Akers out as an avoid. And part of the logic linked back to what Jordan was talking about. So like this is something that happened before with Jordan talking about these the Rams backfield. And I think a lot of the Kyron stuff really comes down to what your perspective was prior to all of this news. Because anyone who's read my draft guide, watched this, you like my Bucky's t-shirt today, by the way? Who read the draft guide, who's listened to this show, I've talked about my lower-ish Kyron Williams exposure. I've been of the belief that Blake Corum was going to play a decent role in that offense because you don't go out and spend, in my opinion, logically, go out, spend a day 2 pick, and get a running back that mirrors what you have in Kyron Williams, a literal 3 months after your running back and Kyron Williams couldn't stay on the field, right? Like he got hurt. They needed depth, sure. Like they needed that play, but they also got Kyron Williams, like the closest running back to Kyron Williams in the draft that they could find. And so that's been my fear, is not that Kyron Williams can't or won't be an RB1. I recognize his ceiling, right? Like I've had him ranked as like RB9 or whatever throughout the offseason. That's been enough for me to not be as in on him as others are, right? That's what that comes down to. So it really comes down to like your perspective on this, because to me, I always kind of assumed that there was going to be more of a split backfield, that Blake Corum was going to play a role, which is why I have 19% Blake Corum in BBM. I think he's a way better best ball pick than a managed league pick. I have 19% Blake Corum. I have like 3 or 4% Kyron Williams. I do wish that was shrunk a little bit, but that's the logic. That's the reasoning as to why. And so if you think that there wasn't going to be, if you thought that Kyron Williams was going to continue to see the exact same workload he did last year, I think that was kind of foolish. And hopefully this news item maybe does change your opinion at least a little bit, but it's not changing my opinion all that much. I'm on the clock. I love talking while being on the clock like this. Do we go Kenneth Walker? This is a really crappy part of the draft. I want to up this exposure. Let's go James Cook. I don't have that much James Cook. Let's go Kenneth Walker. I'm really not that high on James Cook. So yeah, I mean, like, it depends on your perspective coming in at the end of the day with Kyron Williams. I got to focus on this draft a little bit. Beefcake asked what my Jaleel McLaughlin exposure is. He's my highest drafted player in Best Ball Mania. I think 23%. 22 to 23%. So if Corum gets 150 to 180 carries, he still may not take away that much from Kyron. Do we think this means Kyron might still get near the same workload? So that's the other thing, though, too, is that like it's not just the overall volume that we should be concerned about. It's where that volume's coming and what happens in the receiving game and the passing game and stuff like that. I also think the Rams are bound to throw for more touchdowns this year than rush versus what they did last year, like that ratio. So like there's some stuff like that is important with that analysis. I keep getting distracted by these questions. There's definitely some of that we have to consider with the analysis. Is like he's not going to necessarily see 100% of the goal line rushes when he's active. He's not going to necessarily see all of the backfield touches through the air. Really want to go Jaden Reed to get the correlation with Justin Jefferson, but this James Cook value is pretty screaming at this point, and I don't have a ton of him, so we're gonna do this. Not a lot of correlation going on yet, folks. We don't have that much going on yet. Any chance of you and Rich live streaming your final BBM draft together? I haven't really thought about that, but I can ask him, see what he's up to. This smells like a 4 running back team. Yeah, could be. I'd love to see a report next year. I saw that you had an edit to this about which time in the offseason your drafts are the most. Yeah, I can do that. I'll definitely talk about that. Do you like Walker over Cook and redraft too? I think I technically have Cook ranked higher, but I think that a lot of that has to do with the fact that like I have them in the same tier because I haven't been that high on Cook. I think that the way these guys score points though in best ball, I'm a little bit more inclined to go Kenneth Walker. They're actually back to back in my rankings in the exact same tier. So what's this 1.5 million all about? If I win this tournament, I will win $1.5 million. It's not going to happen, but hey. The problem right now is I need to force wide receiver in the next round. I don't know what that's going to look like and who that's going to be, and I might have to reach a little bit. Is Fields still worth an 18th round pick? I think so. I mean, like I've been saying it this offseason, this summer, that I thought that Russell Wilson was going to start, and I actually have grown to like Fields playing later in the season more than I did. I thought there was a chance that Russ was just going to play all year. But we've seen a little bit more from Fields. We haven't seen a ton from Russ. I know they had that good first drive in the last preseason game. The problem I think with Fields is the Steelers' opening schedule really isn't that tough. And so Russ could come out and actually play relatively well, which would then hurt Fields. But yeah, I think from an 18th round perspective, I still think it's not a bad pick in a 3 quarterback build. I wouldn't do it with an elite quarterback, but you're really making that pick for hopefully he's playing towards the end of the year. Jameson, you think next? Yeah, I mean you got Debo. It's gonna have to be a reach like that, unless like a Christian Watson falls or something. We just got to hope that no one goes wide receiver. I could reach for Addison too and get the Minnesota stack going. We just need more running backs to go off the board. It was hard for me I don't want to pass up on the value, especially, we're late in BBM season. James Cook has not fallen to like the mid to late 6th super, super often. So I guess it's more mid 6th. Especially like over the last month, you see running backs get drafted a lot higher. Really uncorrelated lineup though so far. JMO would work though, because Buffalo gets Detroit week 15. Then obviously you get San Francisco in week 17. Might star him. Although I'm actually going to go JSN if he's there. Highly doubt he'll be there though. These two teams are relatively wide receiver needy. Yep. I mean, we'll get a guy. I mean, Keon Coleman's not even a bad get. We'll go JMO though. Keon Coleman would have fit with, James Cook, but at least now we have like another possibility for a stack. Yeah, I love Cardinals Lions, or Cardinals Rams rather. I was thinking about the Lions 49ers. I was hoping Addison would fall to the next round. I could go another running back in the next round if Aaron Jones is there. But man, we're hoping for a running back heavy run here. Might have to reach a little bit. This could be a team too that, I go, it's probably too early. I was going to say go Jordan Love and then just try to get like a Wicks or a Dobbs. I might actually do that because I hate this area. And I'd say if Aaron Jones isn't there, if I get Aaron Jones, we're going 4 running back. We're done. We're probably going to make this a 4 running back team anyway. Yeah, Beefcake just said that too. Green Bay would be a fun mid-round stack to build. I kind of like that idea. But if Aaron Jones is here, it's going to be really, really hard to not take Aaron Jones. You know what? We're going to do this. We're going to do the Jordan Love thing. We're going to do the Jordan Love thing. I think Jones is probably a little bit more optimal, but we've seen in these drafts, these quarterbacks going a little bit earlier. I do want to up my Love exposure a little bit. You have the bring back with Justin Jefferson. And now you play and you hope that you can get Dobbs or Wicks. And I'm probably going to have to just chase Wicks in the next round. If I don't go Dobbs. It's an interesting look, just like a different kind of build. Let's hope both of those guys aren't gone. But there's always like a Tucker Kraft, Luke Musgrave, I guess Bo Melton later. This guy right here is probably mad because he has Christian Watson. Or they have Christian Watson. Although, yeah, I mean, they're looking for stacks. Anthony Richardson. Now they can just go running back. Green Bay also gets Seattle in week 15. You said in the last Best Ball Mania or becoming a Best Ball Bro pod that you cooled on Brooks. How come? Just because we started getting more and more pessimism as the summer went on about him playing early in the season. I thought there was a possibility he'd play like week 3, but now he's not going to play the first 4. So I haven't drafted him nearly as much. Still overweight. I can tell you the exact number. Probably at like 12%. I'll check though for sure. My BBM exposure to Jonathan Brooks, 14%. So it's actually higher than I thought. That's why, I mean, I don't need to like force it at this point. That's more than enough, in my opinion. In a keeper league is HR. What am I missing with HR? Oh, he. Gotcha. Is it a better 8th or 9th round? Like, is he better in a keeper? I don't understand what the question is here. All right, so lots of running backs have gone off the board, so we need to hope that kind of continues. Romeo Dobbs is at the top of the ADP list. It's going to suck if we have to, go with a Dobbs or a Wicks over some of these really good running backs. I just don't think we can risk it. And this team right here has 2 wide receivers. Good Lord. And no stack. All right, well, let's hope that if there's not a draft thing going on here, then that's what's going on. They get Curtis Samuel or something. Okay. Crunch time right here. Oh my gosh. I think we got to just take Wicks next. If he's there. This is the downside of going this route. I mean, what is this team though? All right, we're getting Wicks. What is going on with this build? I mean, you get the Jones Dobbs correlation, sure. Oh, Fries is in here at 12. No love for Palmer. No, look, this is purely a pick based on stacking. Dontavian Wicks was probably not going to make it back to me in the next round. He definitely wasn't going to make it back. I mean, I love Wicks. How dare you sound so upset about taking Green Bay wide receiver 1 Dontavian Wicks? Yeah, exactly. So hopefully we get, something good in this round 10. How much less important are stacks and best ball non-tournaments? They're not as important, but you still want that weekly upside. And honestly, the stacks are good from the standpoint of if that team does well, if that offense does well, good Lord. Fries, why are you going to be taking Tajay Spears, man? I wanted to close out the running back room. But yeah, it's one of those things where if you draft an offense like a stack and that offense does well, then you're elevating the entire stack. Yeah, I'm not going Musgrave here, though. Zach Moss would be nice here. It's like a very obvious tier break after that. I could go Brock. Okay. So we're done at running back. I'm not drafting any more running backs. 4 running back build. Chase Brown's already gotten drafted. He goes about a round ahead of Zach Moss in these things. No, I feel you. The Spears pick is good. I just like Tajay Spears. Let's look at your roster. If it would stay on it. Yeah, I dig that. Just get Levis late. All right. We can still get a Goff, honestly, and get a stack that way. Or Darnold. I know I don't want to go Darnold actually, because I don't want 2 in week 17. If I go Darnold, I'll go like Darnold, Bo Nix, and get something later. The 12 spot sucks, Fries. Like that's just a rough draw. I kind of like what you did with the ETN Jacobs turn, just because it's such a dead area. And then you're obviously going to get Kirk Cousins. What if I get Kirk Cousins? Just ruin you. Have you done a McBride, Murray, and Harrison stack? I have, but it was more so earlier in the offseason when it was a lot easier to achieve. All right, let's think about what's next. It's going to be a 3 tight end build. I want to at least... we'll wait. You already got auto saying I'm not going to pick Kirk Cousins, bro. That'd be messed up. All right. Focus. Could go Polk. Adonai Mitchell. Could get my guy Darnell Mooney, ruin your stack even more. So wide receivers suck. I doubt AD is going to be there. Is my thing, my issue. Someone's got to take Corum. I'm going to be mad if Corum's there after. I think I might just go Goff, though, with this next pick. And be done at quarterback. I was iffy on AD Mitchell as a prospect. He's definitely played pretty well. I just thought he was a high variance prospect. He's risen in my rankings, though. I think I'm going to go Goff, though, and just close up quarterback. Be done. Maybe get a Khalif Raymond late. We have the bring back in that game. These guys are done. Fries, you better be eyeing the Kirk Cousins Darnell Mooney turn here. What are your thoughts on Luke McCaffrey in best ball? He seems like he has the potential to be wide receiver 2 with Dotson now. Surprised he doesn't have that much helium after the trade. I've been surprised by that too. There was that one report though that says he's still like wide receiver 4 on the team. Yeah, there you go. Give me that Kirk Cousins, Darnell Mooney turn. I know you're scrolling down for Cousins. There it is. There it is. Yeah, McCaffrey to me is actually a decent value. My next pick is definitely looking like AD or Hawk. I have a surprising amount of Hawkinson. All of these running backs being here is very tilting. It's a pretty sharp room. Go Falcons, yeah. Get you some Will Levis later, bro. But Luke McCaffrey, I think, is still a good value. Like, I still think he's going to end up being their slot guy. All right, we're going Hawk. More bring back for that game. We can go Musgrave or Kraft next or later. Does Darnold even utilize tight ends? We don't know much about Darnold in general. I also think there's a lot of that stuff that goes around, like, does this quarterback do this or that? It's very schematic based. Like, it's very scheme based. And mostly personnel based. I should have led with that. Does Darnold even play week 17? I actually think he's going to play all year, personally. Not that it really matters that much for this team in particular. You know, if it's Nick Mullins, that's fine. We're going to need some help at tight end and wide receiver. I have Vikings to make playoffs bets. I mean, it's kind of fun. It's kind of a tough division, though. All right, we're going to put Musgrave at the top of the queue and hope for the best. Otherwise, we're going to look at like a DeMario Douglas type. Or like a Downs. But Downs will probably be gone. I have a lot of Michael Wilson from early on before his ADP spike. Man, my shoulders. I went for a ruck today. You guys ever ruck? Put on the weighted vest. I walked like 5 miles earlier today with the weighted vest, and my shoulders are just destroyed, man. Oh my gosh. You did not need Luke Musgrave, bro. Luke Musgrave ahead of ADP, despite all the Tucker Kraft stuff going on. You have no Viking on your team. What, Dalton Schultz, is he still on the board? No. You didn't need Luke Musgrave. You have Trey McBride. That's a tilting snipe. I prefer to walk without a weighted vest. Yeah, I mean, I do both. It does give you a better workout though. A little bit more weight on you. And it's not like I'm huffing and puffing. Like when I walk, I'm not trying to hit like high-end cardio. Absolutely tilting, and by that I mean it's absolutely tilting. Yeah, Kraft we're gonna have to reach for Kraft. Someone save this man from Jaleel. Dude, I want to so bad. Should I just get Jaleel, folks? Someone draft Jaleel McLaughlin in the next 3 picks, please? Please. For the love of God. Might go Leggett, actually, too. Please draft Jaleel McLaughlin. Please draft. Oh, my gosh. I'm going to take Xavier Leggett over Jaleel because I think that we just need to go with these 4 running backs. Right? Oh my gosh, I want to draft Jaleel McLaughlin so bad. We're going Xavier Legette. I need to stop. I need to stop myself. I need to stop myself. I need to stop myself. Some of us have enough weight. Look, brother, Pat, I've got plenty of weight. I'm like 195 pounds, pushing. I'm always between like 195, 200. So I have plenty of weight on my body too. I'm always. How tall do you guys think I am? I guess some of you probably seen pictures of me and stuff. 5'2", 5'11". Beefcake got it. I'm 6'1". 7'2". I appreciate it. But 7'2", 195 would not look like this. Yeah, I'm 6'1". And we could go Hunter Henry. It's not like these wide receivers are fantastic. Pure muscle, yeah. My weighted vest is the 30 rack of Miller Lite I drank over the weekend. The fact that you're talking about a 30 rack of Miller Lite means that you're probably in your mid 20s or in college. Am I right? I'm now in my mid 30s, and my brother, I was drinking Fresca over the weekend. All right. I kind of want to go Hunter Henry. Just get a tight end body. I mean, I could go Noah Fant. I just think Henry's a better pick. Maybe we go Fant and get some Seattle synergy, because Fant, we don't really have, or Henry, we don't have as much going on. Spot on, 23. I knew it. We're going Noah Fant. Fresca is the most underrated beverage in the game. Dude, I agree. If you guys want a little drink tip, you could put some Tito's in there. It's pretty good. I'm 6'1", 205, lost like, yeah, you're not that. I mean, you can put a vest on. Good for you for losing the 20. I lost a little weight also a handful of years ago whenever I started eating gluten-free, gluten and dairy-free. I feel like I was probably pushing 215, 220 at one point, at like my peak. And then I got down to like 188 or something like that. And then my body kind of reset once I started introducing, like, I ate so clean for like 5 months to fix a health issue. And I just was dropping weight, shedding weight. And then I'm like, I can't eat like this forever. So naturally you're going to find like your I found my median now though. It's like in that 195 range. And I feel good with it. Able to exercise, get that in, still enjoy myself. You still going strong? No, smoothie every morning thing has not been a thing for a couple of years. Mostly because I could, I'm not diabetic or anything, but I could feel my blood sugar shift. Like it was just like, it was like tangible. Smoothies really aren't nearly as good for you as people sell it as. I do eggs in the morning, 3 eggs, and I put some black beans on top every morning with some salt. All right, we gotta be on craft watch here. I can probably wait till the 16th. I thought you ate like 7 to 9 eggs every morning. I could. Sometimes it's 4. Sometimes it's 4. But no, smoothie game's gone. You slowly also morph your smoothie stuff. Like I was putting good stuff in it, greens and some protein. And then it slowly morphs like, oh, I don't need that today. I can just go the fruit route. And then you're just drinking sugar and you're not getting as much fiber in it. I ate a ton of fruit though. Big fruit guy. Maybe we go no, we need one more tight end. All right, we're going wide receiver. Um Robinson, pair him with Kyron. That's fine by me. Trying to have less eggs and more smoothies for cholesterol. Getting old sucks. Yeah, I've read though from a cholesterol standpoint that I know that eggs have it, but it doesn't impact your numbers as much. But look, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor, and I obviously watch my cholesterol. I get a physical every year, all that good stuff. I genuinely like I just flipped the switch for like it just everything changed for me a few years ago, and but maybe 4 years ago, and I just changed my lifestyle up. I was always really good at exercising, but I was not good at consuming. I still am not that good. I still consume a lot of calories, but I at least get the right kinds of food. And then you kind of learn things like whenever I go on running kicks, and I ran a half in March. And when I did that, I was like I wasn't gaining weight, but I was not losing any weight during that because when you run that much, you just get so hungry. I was consuming at least like 3,000 calories a day when I was going on these like 9-10 mile runs. It was just so easy to go that route. I think we got to just go with Kraft this next round. Just ensure the stack. And then we got to think about Lions a little bit. Let's get like Khalif. Get him lined up. Chicken thigh smoothies. That's another thing. I've switched to, I used to eat chicken breast all the time, but I grill chicken thighs now more frequently than chicken breast. They just taste better afterwards too. But you're burning like 1,000 calories on a run. Like, yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just like maintained. I wasn't like losing weight and doing that, which is why I totally am like nothing has been clearer for me over the last 4 years of like changing my lifestyle, all that kind of stuff, than the importance of diet in terms of like, genuinely losing weight. Like unless you're like a professional athlete doing crazy things, it's gonna be really hard to have a bad diet and lose weight, or at least like even a below average diet, or where you're just over consuming things, even if it's a decent diet. That's always my struggle. Just like eating tons of fruit, like obscene amount of fruit. You can't outwork a bad diet. Exactly. Exactly. Tim Patrick, he is an option. I still think Khalif is just like a secure, will probably give us like 3 spiked weeks during the year kind of option. It's going to be a 9 wide receiver build though. Let's hope Hawkinson is back by week 10. This feels like it's going to cut it close probably right there. Yeah, I think he's practice squad. I haven't been drafting Dotson in this new environment yet, but where'd he go? I thought he went recently. Look at De'Ami Brown going in the 16th. Don't even hate it. Yeah, Dotson went here. I would have taken Jalen McMillan over him still. And I would have taken Leggett over him too. I don't think P. Ryan's gotten selected. No. Yeah, he did. For some reason that I wasn't used to that profile picture. Tell you what though, I've been doing a lot less Peloton. Not really by choice. Just trying to do other things workout exercise wise. And I'm trying to get back into it and get better at my HIIT stuff on there. I just have gotten less interested in doing HIIT workouts recently just because of like how they make me feel. And how hungry they make me and what's healthiest. Try to do like one a week. All right. We could force it with Khalif, but I don't know if anyone's gonna really like go after him hard. And even if they do, and I miss him, I don't think it's that big of a deal. So let's keep him starred. We could go Whittington and get more Rams, which I don't hate. I mean, we can go QJ. QJ is probably the easier click. And I don't have like a ton, but this is past ADP. And, he realistically, what if he looks a little bit better? We're going to QJ. Why not? And then we'll get Khalif in the last round. Kind of a meh team, 7 out of 10 team. Khalif Raymond ADP on Sleeper is 920. I wouldn't be drafting him in a regular managed league. I'll tell you that. His production is more than likely not going to be predictable at all. $32 team guillotine league. That's a lot. All right. So to recap, we got Jordan Love, Jared Goff, Kyron Williams, Kenneth Walker, James Cook, Zach Moss for a 4 running back build. J. Jeff, Debo, Diggs, JMO, Dontavian Wicks, Xavier Legette, Demarcus Robinson, Quentin Johnston, TJ Hawkinson, Noah Fant, Tucker Kraft. No rookies on this team. Makes me feel a little weird. Usually draft. Oh, no, we have Xavier Legette. We're fine. All right, we got them. We got some second-year guys, though, too. But yeah, we'll go hopefully Raymond with this last pick. If not, we'll go Whittington. Okay, we'll go Raymond. And that concludes this team. 7 out of 10. Not really the best. We've drafted better on these streams, for sure. But I actually have another show I have to do. It's going to be on Twitter, live streamed. Roto Surgeon Kev going to be on there talking bold predictions. Going to be a good time. You guys heard some of my bold predictions on the Late Round podcast yesterday. So I'm probably going to just talk about some that were in my newsletter. So give that a listen if you want to hear more of me in literally 10 minutes. Otherwise, I'll be back tomorrow with another live stream. I'm probably not going to draft any BBMs in between because I want to make sure that I have the 150th on Friday. Friday, 2 p.m. We'll do 2 p.m. for the final BBM stream of the season. Greatly appreciate all of you. I always love the back and forth chatting. Like, it's just as fun for me to do that and just like get to know people, hang out a little bit, talk about your 30 racks of Miller Lite, that kind of stuff. I always enjoy that just as much as the fantasy football chatter. So really appreciate it, everyone. Have a great rest of the day. I'll talk to you tomorrow.